Good morning. This is Ed Garvin reporting for the Army Training Network. The Human Dimension Modeling and Simulations effort, or AVATAR, is a revolutionary proof of principle currently being conducted by the Combined Arms Center Training in conjunction with the Maneuver Center of Excellence and PEO STRI. In the past, simulations have relied on a cookie-cutter approach to human representation and performance characteristics. In the commercial gaming industry, it's common for software to offer the ability to create a fantasy player with physical performance attributes that are rarely or never found in a human being. This allows players to far exceed their inherent capabilities. The National Simulation Center and Tickum Gaming recognize that the ability to model human characteristics and performance attributes is essential to removing gamesmanship from simulations. This concept will enable human performance characteristics such as weapons proficiency, physical fitness, stamina, and individual appearance to be easily imported into a simulation, resulting in a hybrid avatar that performs in accordance with a soldier's actual abilities. This effort will initially be tested at the Maneuver Center of Excellence in August of 2012. Now let's talk with Sergeant Randleman, who will explain the process and how this capability enhanced his squad's simulation training experience.
Good afternoon. My squad just finished a day at our local sim center. I want to give you some background on the process that we use to schedule training and how human dimension modeling, or AVATAR, impacted our training event. In my unit, we manage training records using the Digital Training Management System, or DTMS. After the company commander creates the unit medal and issues his training guidance, this information is uploaded into DTMS. The training NCO has entered results from our training events into the system, such as soldier information, training schedules, weapons qualification scores, results from the PT test, height and weight data, and other special skills and qualifications. My platoon leader, platoon sergeant, and section sergeants can review the commander's intent and identify what collective and individual tasks support it and determine where they fit into our training schedule. They select the task to be trained and identify the collective and individual tasks that support it. For example, occupy an observation post. In DTMS, they select personnel that will attend the training, create a training audience roster, and print out a training support package so we can talk about the event, timelines, and expectations with our soldiers before attending the training. Additionally, they send a request through the range management support system to schedule the training facility. When we arrive at the training site, we will train using an avatar that is based upon our training records and performs like us in the game environment. Let's take a look at how the DTMS data affected in-game avatar performance. As you can see, I have some team members that are in excellent physical condition, but I do have soldiers that are not as physically fit as I would like them to be. Take for instance Private Picard. Picard is a new soldier that is carrying some unnecessary weight and failed our most recent APFT. You can see that Picard can't keep up with the rest of the squad and he has to take a knee. Now let's take a look at shooting ability. As you can see, I have different levels of weapons proficiency, from expert to sharpshooter to marksman to unqualified. The ability to hit targets is now reflected in the simulation, as it is in live training. But it's more than being able to shoot under ideal conditions. I know from experience that shooting ability declines as we become fatigued. It's just harder to hold a proper sight picture when I'm maneuvering and out of breath. As you can see, after a 200-meter movement, our shooting ability is reduced. However, our level of expertise slowly returns as our fatigue level decreases. All of this can really impact the outcomes of our simulations training. We just conducted a mission where we left our combat outpost and conducted a 2.5-kilometer movement and occupied an observation post. I learned from my time deployed that anytime you conduct a movement or patrol in theater, someone is watching you and developing their tactics, techniques, and procedures based on what we do. It was not long after we initiated our movement that the effect of fatigue started to appear. What I had originally thought to be a relatively easy move to the OP instead turned out to be a pretty difficult move as we encountered some very steep terrain. Due to the avatar capability, my team had to make several stops along the way in order to recover from fatigue. What we didn't know was that our enemy was taking advantage of this time to get into position and better prepare for an attack on our OP. We finally arrived at the OP and were attacked almost immediately. I had not considered how the enemy would use the terrain and the extra time that we provided due to our frequent stops against us. As a result, our observation post was overrun and we suffered significant casualties. If the human dimension modeling had not been a factor, we would have occupied the OP in half that time. All soldiers would have been expert marksmen, and we could have easily repelled an enemy attack. I learned a valuable lesson today. I have to consider the individual soldier and their abilities in a simulation, just like I do in the live environment, and I can use this as a mission planning tool for our upcoming live event. That's been my experience with human dimension modeling and the use of hybrid avatars and simulations. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to go schedule our next training session.
Sergeant Randleman, thank you for taking some time to explain how your unit is benefiting from this new training capability. This has been Ed Garvin reporting from the Army Training Network.